So here is Renkum Corsair, aka Kaz, at the 4-star short at Stableview. And we've just really been working on kind of changing a little bit his warm-up and his prep for coming into the ring. So really worked on getting our canter, practicing going forward, coming back, and then he felt pretty settled coming in here. So coming down our center line, making sure I'm nice and straight into our halt. That was a fairly good halt. And again, making sure he stays with me a little bit more. And for me, my goal in this test was really to kind of have him come and push through his hind end. He can sometimes get a little stuck. Tension can be a little bit our nemesis, but showing a really nice medium trot here. And then he just caught a little bit of a toe in the footing, which caused us to lose balance. And again, the more I can kind of keep him coming from behind and kind of have him up and through so I can get him to lift his pole. And now he's really starting to come up and through his shoulder for that medium trot with a nice transition back. And it's oftentimes a balancing game. And here we're in our extended trot, which I'm really happy with how this is developing. Again, transition, got to make sure I show the transition back. And then preparing for my half pass, which that was just a shame. So he gets a little stuck here in canter mode, and I'm trying to do the half pass, and he says, nope, I want to do canter. And so I kind of just went with it, and then we go into our right half pass just fine. So I did end up getting a 1 for that half pass, but I thought in my mind, you know, if I was to take the risk to take the error to try it again, then he might still pop into the canter for that tension in the corner. So I just left it and went with it. So now into my walk. Sometimes he can get a little bit lateral in the walk. He gets a little stuck here. So that's just something I got to work on a little bit better to keep making sure it's 4-beat and not lateral. And then the second one was better. Doesn't get so stuck. And then he's able to do the short walk steps behind, which is what you want to see. And now into the extended walk, which he's feeling very relaxed and with me for this. And it's probably one of his best extended walks that he gave me. So he's been interesting kind of through the test. He's going through bits and pieces where the tension is coming, but then he's actually getting better and relaxing. So right now where I am, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm making sure he's staying on my aids. He can tend to get anxious about the canter transition, but I was actually quite pleased with that. And now we go directly into an extended canter. And the scoring of my test was actually pretty interesting. I thought the judges did a really good job because, you know, I got a 1 on that half pass, but then they also scored me a 9 on some of his other movements. So, you know, they're willing to give me the scores, just got to get them. So into our half pass. Again, I want to see him to kind of come up and carry. Sometimes he just bears down on me a little bit, and that's just getting his strength. So we go into this flying change, and that was together behind. And for him, the right to left change is the weaker lead, but what I liked about it was he stayed relaxed and wasn't taking over. So I thought that was, you know, a better movement for him. And then we're going into our half pass to the left. And for him, his left lead is his stronger, and the left to right change is typically my money change. So making sure I come through here get it over the center line. If I was to be picky, it was maybe a bit croup high, but it was clean. And now coming into our final halt. And we kind of dropped into the trot, just because, again, the right is a little weaker. But I was pretty pleased with that test and the right ability. Like, yes, I had some moments where, you know, it was disappointing for that half pass, but overall we scored fairly decently still with a 35, so that's pretty much around our average. Now into the show jump. Again, this show jump was proving difficult, but show jump tends to be Kazi's strong point. So coming into the first jump, makes a really nice shape. And again, he feels very good. And this course was riding a bit, the lines were a bit snug, so you had to ride forward to make sure you were up on the time. But then you had to make sure you had your horse kind of come back a little bit. So that first bending line was fine. I think I ended up leaving out a stride there because I could keep coming. And now to this bending line. But then I really had to settle after the double because he carried so much. But he was a really good boy there. And again, you have to land and keep moving. And then coming into this triple bar, makes a really nice shape here. And coming to this final turn, I'm like, okay, we've got our final line. I see my good shot in, and then I just lose him. He drifts a little right, and we caught that rail. So it was annoying to have that one rail, but again, I was pretty pleased with how he jumped around there. Then on to cross country, and he was jumping fantastic and really jumping the lines great. He was just feeling a bit keen and very strong. So you see I'm reeling him in here. And I have to say this cross country was a bit frustrating because after this, which he just jumps amazingly, I did end up popping off over a very insignificant table. So again, just a bit frustrating, and we're so close to having all the pieces put together, but it was just one of those weekends. So back to work we go.